Hi, this is Alice B. Wilder, the creator of Genital Electric, and this is another project update. Today is January 30th, and I am really excited about this update. I recently, over the last few months or so, started thinking about 2022 and how I wanted to approach this year, and how I wanted to move forward in this project and like what I was already putting out there. So one of the realizations that I had was that the canvases that I was creating, which I started creating because some of the models that I created pieces for originally were asking for a way to have their piece printed and be able to display it. So I went with a canvas to start. And somewhere around like 2021, like at the end of the year, I started to realize that the canvases just weren't hitting the same way that the neon was. It just like lacked the light aspect of it and the like brightness and the illumination part. So I started thinking about how I could display these pieces in a more illuminating way that like worked better for the designs, but also had the same meaning behind it. Because the meaning behind the light and the power that comes behind the neon and what turns it on is that pleasure. So the light is like a huge part of this project. Going along with our message of pleasure is power, I wanted to create a piece or create pieces that really spoke to that, and that even though it was not the actual neon piece, it still gave off that same sort of power or light or it just emitted that same feeling, because there is this feeling when you stand in front of the neon piece that it's just like, I don't know, you're like in this glow. It's this glowing feeling. And so it was the glow that was missing. And I found Quinn from Hamster Labs in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've been working with him to design and create new pieces, but with blacklight ink and ultraviolet inks, so that when you set them under a black light, they glow. And there's like neon colors. And then when you flip that black light, wow, they just light up. It's so cool. We came up with a first design and he sent me the sample this week, which was amazing. So I'm really excited about that. Moving forward, I'll be getting rid of the canvases because I just don't feel like they're speaking the right message. They aren't kind of showing off the designs and the power and the glow in the way that I want them to. So I'll be scrapping all of that. And refining the process and working with Quinn to kind of create these smaller runs of prints. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to be submitting these 5 pieces that I'm working with Quinn to create, and they are not only blacklight, but they also have a tactile aspect to them. So they are going to be with like a damask print around the outside of the oval, which kind of calls back to this 70s velvet posters that are so well known, the insane psychedelic designs. I'm calling back to the sexual revolution of the 60s and 70s, and you know, as we kind of explore in this like time of sexual healing and sexual revolution for this generation, and each generation kind of has to approach it in their own world. Like, we are not in the same world as the 60s and 70s, and people who have told me that, you know, the sexual revolution already came and went, well, yeah, fine, that was your sexual revolution, but, you know, the world is not the same now as it was then, and the standards have changed, and society has totally different boxes to put us into, and we still need to fight for our own pleasure and, you know, normalcy of sexuality. And so that fight is still happening, and each generation has its own things to go through. I know that when I went through high school, they weren't telling us to burn bras, and they weren't, telling us about the joys of pleasure and how to masturbate. No, it was still religious, it was still societal, it was still just, desensitized in a way. Any feeling is like just put into a box and given medication for. Well, no, like you can't just heal sexuality. Sexual healing is something that someone has to go through on their own journey. And that's really, I feel like, what I've been going through is this sexual healing over the last few years. Coming off of birth control and, embarking on this journey and then talking with people. Like, it's crazy to me how this project just really threw me into meeting so many different people and learning from them and all of that. But I feel like walking into 2022 with this big pussy energy is exactly what I'm ready for. Like, I'm finally ready to share more of my story with you and be able to put myself out there more and explore deeper, I'm not in the same place as I was 2 years ago when I was just looking at my vulva in the mirror, and that's okay. We're all in different points of our process and different points of our journey. But I feel like really excited about what's coming for this year and the things that I am sort of stepping into and, trying to step out of the shame and shaming myself. Giving myself pleasure feels great, and it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel powerful. And so I think it's important for us to have conversations about it. Besides the work I'm creating for Seif and working on with Quinn this year, I'm continuing to do portraits of genitalia or erotic neons, and I'm excited to kind of expand more into the erotic neon side. So if you want any erotic pieces done, please let me know. And other than that, I am about to be working on this new video series, which I mentioned last time, but really quick. It's a naked video series where I am going to get on and tell stories, and I'm going to be doing that in a couple of different places. You'll be able to see it on YouTube, but it'll be blurred, and then on Patreon maybe. But you'll be able to see the original version without the blur over on the free OnlyFans page that I'm going to be creating. And so that'll be a place for you to see that, and you can join and be a part of that. I'm going to be creating like a little bit of a different community over there where I can share more intimate things and just a little more like sex positivity, because it's a little bit more difficult over on Instagram just with the censorship. So I'm just trying out different places to see different platforms and how they are and what kind of community is over there. And so just, yeah, stay tuned because I'll be like trying different things, all of that this year. I'm currently also reading Orgasms for Two by Betty Dodson. I've been doing kind of a deep dive on Betty Dodson and the work that she's done to understand her body sex courses and her philosophies on masturbation, but also on partnered sex or just any other kinks or anything like that. So I'll be looking to share some more of that with you in the coming videos, and be in the naked video series as well. So yeah, that's all I've got for you today. If you want to support Genital Electric, you can do so by following me on Instagram or YouTube. You can also join the Patreon and become a VIP patron, or you can donate. I have a GoFundMe set up right now for Genital Electric. That's gofundme.com/f/Genital Electric, or you can donate directly via Venmo. That's just at Genital Electric, and your donations are highly appreciated. This project runs just on my own and what we've been doing, and your donations and commissions that I do. So if you'd rather do a commission or something like that, please let me know. I would be more than happy and honored to create a piece for you. that's all I have for project updates today, but I'm really excited about what's coming, and I cannot wait to share with you the next video. Like and subscribe and hit that bell also so that you are notified when I do a new video, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.